All right. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Let's get started. Go ahead and find the end of your mat. Good. And we'll just start rolling our shoulders here. Good. Take a breath up. And just bring the hands into heart center. Take another breath. Exhale, soft fold down onto your legs. Bend those knees. Good. Lift your gaze. Unhinge. Shoulder roll at the top. Good. Take a breath. Come to heart center. Good. Now we're going to inhale, come up off of your heels, up onto your toes. Good. Release that. Inhale up, soft fold. Lift your gaze, press through your feet. Inhale, come back to heart center. And up when you're ready, off of the heels onto the balls of your feet. Good. Think about pressing through the toes, not just the outside, so we don't fall outward like this. Push inward. Good. Release that down. One more time. Inhale, exhale, soft fold. Unhinge. Come to heart center and lift. And release. Inhale up. This time, keep the legs straight. Just go as far as your body tells you to go to standing extension. And then exhale and fold. That doesn't mean you have to touch the floor. Just feel those heels moving away from the hips. And hands to the floor. Walk back to downward dog. Press the heels down. Roll the shoulders back. Good. And find your plank. Pull the core in, shoulders away from the ears. Do this on your knees if you need to. Inhale as you lower down, chaturanga. Exhale, up dog. Reaching up through that heart. Feel the crown of your head lifting toward the ceiling. Good. And come to your tabletop position. Good. Just sink into cow here. Tailbone up, head up. Inhale. Exhale. Roll this up into cow. Tuck your chin. Big inhale here. Now keep this curve. And as you exhale, just push back toward your tailbone. Rounded spine. This is shell pose. And come back into a neutral spine. Tuck your feet. Lift your left leg up into three-leg dog. Look forward, step forward, and come up to high lunge. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. And then we're just going to twist this. So turn to your left, your front leg. And then inhale as you put your right hand on the floor, sink into your hips, revolve your lunge. Put both hands on the floor, step back to downward dog. When you're ready, On an exhale, lift your right leg into three-leg dog. Look forward, step forward with your right leg. Come up to your high lunge. Find your exhale, turn to your right. And then inhale, put your left hand on the floor, sink into your hips, and revolve your lunge. Good, both hands to the floor. When you're ready, step in and standing extension. Lengthen the spine, lift the ribs off the hips. Inhale and exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. Good job. Take a breath. Come to heart center. Get your balance up off the balls of your, or onto the balls of your feet, off your heels. Good. Now you can stay right here, just lifting, or start to bend the knees, stay off the heels, and try to lift this. Good. Now you should not be as low here as you would be for chair because the knees are going past the toes because you're up off of your heels. So there's not a huge push forward. You should feel that in your knees if you're going too far, and we don't want to do that. If you don't like the arms up, you can also bring them forward for balance. Now swing those arms behind you. See if you can straighten your legs and hinge still off of the heels. This is diver's pose. Now let the heels down and fold. Good. We're going to step back with our right foot. Turn your right foot and spiral up into your warrior two. Pull those shoulders back right over the hips. Turn your palms up. And now inhale, straighten your leg. And then on your exhale, push your arms back down. I want you to imagine you're like pushing through, I don't know, mud or something. Inhale up, leg straightens. Exhale, push down. Now, if you feel like you need more range of motion because you're getting warmer, walk that front foot out a little further. Just make sure we're not taking this knee past the toes. Inhale and exhale. Try to keep those arms active. They're not just lifting and lowering, they are reaching and pushing down. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, reach out. Push that right hip to the ceiling. And triangle pose. Good. Turn to a lunge. Revolve your lunge again. Feel that right hip sink toward the floor. Good. Now we're going to drop the right knee and come up into our kneeling lunge. Make sure that you widen out your knees, or a way to say it would be to take your left foot toward the left side of your mat and your right knee toward the right side of your mat. So you create this hole that you can just sort of drop your hips into. Good. Now, palms down, Just hinge. Squeeze behind you. You should feel like your left leg is kind of on the side of your rib cage. You're not laying on your leg. Now turn your palms and face each other. So I want you to imagine there's a big ball behind you and just start squeezing that ball. Good. Keep your chin off your chest, looking past your mat, but you're not craning your neck. And bring the hands to the floor. Take your left leg back. Widen out those arms. Sit the hips back, child's pose. Now bring yourself to tabletop. Good. Now sink the spine through the shoulders. So you should almost feel like your shoulders are going up, but not towards your ears. And we're in cow. Now take this cow and just kind of slide forward with it. And then we're going to tuck that tailbone, tuck the head, and then begin to slide back into that shell pose we did earlier. Now feel the head rise. And we're going to slide forward into our cow and go through that. So there's this circular motion happening. Once you feel like you have it, go at your own pace. So we're going cow, cat, shell, and into cow. But we're kind of sinking and morphing into each pose. Just keep your breath moving. Good, just wherever you're at, 2 more. Good. Now keep your hips over your heels. That didn't even make sense. Keep your hips over your knees. Tuck your feet. And I want you to take your hands out to the corners of your mat. Drop your heart to the floor. Pull your elbows in towards each other. This is playful puppy. You can have your forehead on the floor or your chin. Good. Walk that back to tabletop. And then we're going to tuck the feet and lift into plank. Chaturanga Up Dog. Good. Tuck your feet, lift your left leg into 3-leg dog. Look forward, step forward with your left. Inhale, step in halfway with your right. Push back into your hips and split your fold. Inhale, bring the feet together, standing extension. And exhale and fold. Good. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge. Good. Take a breath, lift your left arm, and exhale over, leaning mountain. Inhale up. Exhale over, leaning mountain, other way. Inhale, both arms are coming up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands into heart center. And when you're ready, we're lifting those heels again. Think about using all 10 toes or however many you have. Good. Now you can leave the hands in prayer, put them out in balance, or come up. Sit the hips back. We're in balance here, so you're not going to go as low. Really pull in the core. Squeeze the knees together. Squeeze those calves. Take the arms, squeeze them behind you. Palms are up. Now straighten your legs and hinge over, diver's pose. And let the heels sink. Exhale, hinge and fold. Big release in the back there. And step back with your left foot. Turn that left foot and we'll spiral open into warrior two. Pull the shoulders back right over your hips. Push through both feet. Don't be afraid to spread out your toes here. Good. And here we go with our arms. So inhale, straighten. Good. Now push like you got marshmallows. You're pushing the marshmallows down. Inhale up and push. Every time you push, those arms get longer, shoulders get stronger. One more time. Inhale up here, then push that left hip away, hinge over to your triangle. Good. Turn yourself to a lunge. And we're actually going to drop that left knee and come up into your kneeling lunge, adjusting that stance so that you can sink the hips right into the center. Y'all, it is pouring out. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain today. Good. Reach behind you. Hinge forward. So we're using the core here. Good. Think about making your waist narrow from the front to the back. Reach and then start to squeeze. How fast you go is completely up to you. Do what's going to work, what's going to cause fatigue in that upper back. We're working on strengthening that. That's an important part of our back. Keep your breath just moving. Relax. Put that on the floor. Take your right leg back, hands out wide. Sit into child's pose. Make your way to your tabletop. Good. And go ahead and sink into your cow. And then find that forward motion. And then we go to cat and press cat all the way back into shell pose. And then melt back into cow and shift forward. Just on your own. There's really no wrong way to breathe here. Just find what works for you. If you're particularly tense in the lower back, it does feel good to make a big inhale as you press back into shell pose because of the expansion. But don't overthink it. Just let your body move. Feel your spine between your shoulder blades moving, not just your tailbone. And just wherever you're at, give me 2 more. Good. Tuck your feet. Take your hands back out. And this time, rather than the hips going back, the heart goes down. Playful puppy. Again, think about reaching out and drawing those elbows in. Walk yourself back to tabletop. Tuck your feet. Lift your right leg into 3-leg dog. And step forward with your right leg, halfway in with your left. Exhale and split your fold. Pull back into your hips. Inhale, feet together, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Good. Bend your knees. Lift your gaze and unhinge. Good job. Take a breath. Bring the hands into prayer. All right, we're going to shift the balance into our left leg. If you need to hold on to something with your left hand, you can. Not want to, need to. 2 different things, right? All right. So we're going to reach down with that left hand, grab your right, I'm sorry, it doesn't really matter, but that was my right. Right hand, right leg. Good. Now you can stay right here in this quad stretch. Think about pressing this hip away from the heel. The knee I'm standing on is soft. Notice my knee stays pointing downward. Now, if you'd like to advance it into dancer's pose, first thing I've got to do is change this grip to thumb up. So now my hand is on the inside of my foot. And then I can push my hip forward, my heel up. Now this leaning forward that's happening is just a counterbalance. It is not me deliberately leaning. I really want to think about going up. Good. Take that right foot, step halfway back with it, and split your fold. Now leave your left hand on the floor and exhale. Rotate up to your left. I'm sorry, your right. I can't get my right and left right today. Good. Come back with your hands. Step back with your right foot. Turn your foot. Come back up to that warrior two. Left leg is forward, right foot is back. And inhale, sink this a little deeper. Right hand goes to the back of the right leg. Sun warrior. Over to triangle. Everything straightens. Feel that distance in your breath between that right hip and right rib cage. So the top there. Good. Now from here, unhinge. Turn everything down the right side of your mat. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Take a breath. Good. Now I'm going to sink here, bring my forearms to the inside of my legs, press them outward. Now I'm lifting my head, roll your shoulders back. And I don't want to press through the back of my neck. I am just looking forward, but I'm not squeezing back there. What I want to focus on is my tailbone dropping lower than my head. Now, if this feels pretty good and you want a little bit more, put your hands on the floor and sink there. So a lot of my weight is resting in the backs of my arms. My legs are on them. Breathe into your back here. Good. From here, walk back to the top of your mat and set your right leg down. Just shift back here into this kneeling side stretch. So we're stretching this hamstring here. Good. Now, all you're going to do is press the back foot down. Just press that foot into the floor as you walk your other leg forward. So this is half monkey. All right. It is different. Turn to the side. It's different than this move here. I have these sticky things on my heels. It's making it very difficult. So here my hips are behind my heel, my knees. With half monkey, I'm pushing my hips forward and I'm here. Good. If that feels good, just keep walking it out, taking that monkey pose as far as you can. Remember, every day is different. One week, you might be able to get all the way to the floor. Maybe another week, you just stay in half monkey. That is okay. Just honor where you're at today. Good. From here, just set the hands on the floor. Walk yourself back to tabletop. Good. Now take your right knee toward the right side of your mat. Your right foot is toward the center. Push your left foot away. So before we pushed it forward, now we're pushing it to the side and sink right into the center of your body here as you split your child's pose. Relax your neck. Ease that back to tabletop. Now take that left leg, push it behind you. Good. Now we're going to wrap this leg. So I'm not thinking about my knees crossing. I'm thinking about squeezing my inner thighs as much as I can. And then I'm just going to push back into my shins. I'm not trying to sit on the floor. I'm just sitting into my hips. This is twisted child's pose. Again, roll your shoulders out of your ears here. Good. From here, unwrap and roll up onto your shins. Good. We're going to revolve to the right, revolve to half camel. Relax your left hip here. And we'll go the other way. Remember, you can just have the hand on the hip if you need to. Good, and come back center. Step forward with your left leg. Good. Right hand to the floor. Engage your lunge. Inhale. And then on your exhale, revolve your lunge. Good. Step all the way in. Standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. At the top here, take a breath and exhale. Bring your hands all the way around to your hips. Fingers are pointing down, and just press your hips forward here. Squeeze your shoulder blades, relax your jaw to the ceiling. And bring it back to the center. Inhale. On your exhale, we're taking that left arm down and we're grabbing the left leg. So you've just got this first quad stretch here. You're welcome to stay right here. And then if you'd like to advance, we're switching the grip to the arch of the foot and adding lift, not necessarily lean. And release that. Set your foot halfway back and split your fold. Long spine here. Take a deep breath. And on your exhale, revolve to your left. And then we're taking that left leg all the way back, coming up into warrior two. And let's set that left hand back onto the left leg, right arm up, sun warrior. Lengthen the right side of your body. And now inhale, straighten the legs, over we go into triangle. From here, unhinge, turn down the left side of your mat. Inhale. Now sink that tailbone. Keep your head high. Forearms to the inside of the legs. Good. Holding here. Or if you want a little bit more, hands to the floor. You got to be able to sink those hips below the head. No strain in the neck here. Pull those shoulders down into your back pockets. Good. Walk yourself toward the top of your mat and lower your left knee. Exhale, pull your hips towards your heel. Good. And now begin to push the heel away, pushing the hips forward of, or the hips forward of the knee. Good. It's easy when we're here to kind of squinch up. So make sure you're keeping your posture. Good. Take it back. Take your left knee toward the left side of your mat. Your left foot is in the center. Now extend that right leg out to the side. Center out your body. Push back into your hips and split your child's pose. Come back to tabletop. When you're ready, push your right leg behind you. And then again, we're not crossing the knees. We're thinking about the inner thighs squeezing. And then push yourself back. Make adjustments as you go back. Relax your rib cage as much as you can onto your legs. Twisted child's pose. Undo that, and we're going to roll up onto our shins. Take a breath. Turn towards your left this time. Revolved half camel. Soften those hips to come center. Take your breath the other way. Exhale and switch. And come center. Good. Take your hands to the floor. Tuck your toes. Lift to downward dog. Step forward with your right leg. Inhale. Revolve your lunge. Exhale. Step all the way in with that left leg. Standing extension. Lift the ribs off the hips. Take a breath. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. Good. Take a breath up. Exhale the hands into prayer. Good. From here, we're just going to go straight down to the floor, feet together in bound pose. Go walk your hips towards your heels. Roll your shoulders. Lift the crown of your head. Good. Now, I want you to keep your sit bones on the floor, but just feel this rocking. So back and forth, but I'm not rocking like, where I'm going to tip myself over. Keep your sit bones on the floor, but just feel this sort of tick-tocking of your spine here. Feel that it's really the erector spinae here, that big muscle that runs down the back and into the hips, into the sacral joint. That's what we're loosening here. Often what gets tense on us. Good. Now you're going to take your left leg and just bring it behind you. And you're in this 90-90 stretch. Sit up tall. Good. Now turn to your right. This is different for everyone. Don't force anything. You can go low with this. You can stay up high. Do what you need to do. Good. Then come center. Take a deep breath and just push your heart beyond that right knee. Unhinge. Now you're going to take your back leg, bring it around to the front. Good. Now you can come here, or if you need to, take this right leg and straighten it. So you got some options there. Take a deep breath. And now we're going to turn to the left. Breathe deep into your belly here. Good. Now, with your left hand, reach on the inside of your leg, your left leg, and I'm grabbing the outside of my foot. So my forearm is crossing my shin, all right? I'm going to pull this wide and recline. So I'm trying to press my right leg to the floor. This is half happy baby. Breathe deep into your belly here. Now from here, take that left leg, cross it over the right leg. Use your right leg as your lever. Pull or push that left heel toward your face. Relax your neck to the floor. Good. And from here, give your legs a hug. Take a breath. On your exhale, just push your heels past the top of your mat, and that'll sit you up. We're going to take the right leg back to 90-90. Find your posture. Turn the ribs. We're going left. Walk back to the center, take a deep breath, and push that rib cage past your left leg. Good. Sit that up. Now take that right leg, bring it around, straighten the left, or leave the left one bent. You don't have to do what you did on the other side. Find your posture first. Exhale, twist to your right. Untwist. And now you're going to take your right hand across your shin, lengthen out that left leg if it's not already, roll back into your half happy baby. So think about your right shoulder, or your right knee rather, being out towards your right shoulder. Stay active through that left leg. And now cross your foot over the quad, pull in, using that left leg to assist you. Breathe into your back. And from here, give your legs a hug. And if you want to rock that back and forth, you can. Good. Take a breath. Roll everything to your left. Exhale. Another inhale. And then exhale. Open up the top of your body to the right. Come back to the center. Inhale. Exhale. Roll everything to your right. Inhale. Exhale. Open everything to your left. Come back to the center. And we're going to begin moving into rest here. You can leave your feet on the floor, let your knees fall together. Open into reclined bound pose. Or just find the rest pose that's going to work for you. Starting at your feet. Just journey through your body here, stopping at each joint, each muscle group. And don't feel for tension. What I want you to do today is tell that joint or that muscle group how warm it is, how relaxed it is. Begin feeling your body in contact with the floor. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take some long breaths in, letting each one out as a sigh. And when you're ready, join me seated. And once you're there, just drop ear to shoulder. Let your arms get heavy in your lap. Find an inhale. Begin to roll your roll your shoulders. And release. Take a deep breath. Bring the hands into heart center. Good. One more breath up. Drop those hands to the floor. Roll your shoulders open. Lift your heart. And one more breath. Inhale. Come to heart center. And God bless you guys. Namaste. Excellent job today.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, everybody.